Grace and peace. Welcome to Find the Intersection. My name is Paul Dezay, and today we're going to be taking a look at Psalm 36, verses 5 to 10. Psalm 36, 5 to 10. If you haven't read it, pause the video and go check it out in a couple translations, and then come back and we will talk about it. All right, see ya. Hey, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at Psalm 36, verses 5 to 10. This is a psalm of David. It is a lament and is also a prayer for God to come and deliver. It's a prayer for help. In the first four verses before our passage, it deals with the wicked, and then it transitions to our passage, which is about the wisdom of God. All right, that's the context. Let's talk about a few things that stood out to me in this passage today. The first thing is creation is all over this passage. There is references to God's steadfast love extending to the heavens, the clouds, the mountains, the great deep, animals and humans alike, refuge in the shadow of your wings. There's just seems to be, this is a commentary upon creation from Genesis chapter 1. This passage is big. It speaks to the hugeness, the mightiness of God and his creation. The second thing that stood out to me is the words steadfast love that were repeated three times in the passage, once in verse 5, once in verse 7, and once in verse 10. It's the Hebrew word hesed, and it means God's steadfast love, his loving kindness. It's a big love. It's like Grand Canyon type of love. It's ocean kind of love. It's God's big love. And it's inclusive because it mentions in verse number 7 that all people may take refuge in the shadow of your wings. So there's this element of inclusiveness. God's love is big, but it's also personal in the sense that we can take refuge in the shadow of your wing, which kind of speaks to kind of a motherly type of protective nurturing. And then the third thing that stood out to me was the abundance of God, which has definitely been a theme all the way through this week. In verse number 8, it speaks to the feast. They feast on the abundance of your house, and you give them drink from the rivers of your delight. For with you is the fountain of light. In you light, we see light. And so there's this sense of the abundance of God, which we've read about when turning water to wine, and the huge amount of wine and different aspects of these passages this week. We see that God's love is abundant for us. It's like a fountain pouring out onto us. So there's the abundance of God that is being poured out to his creation and to us, which is awesome. So the response or the application for this passage today is very much one of worship. As I reflect upon this psalm, I see that God is huge and big and loving and caring. And my response to that is to worship him for being my creator, being also one that loves me tenderly. And so those are that's the application for me. So what stood out to you from this psalm, Psalm 36, 5 to 10? Why don't you please comment below, and let's get the conversation going. So Psalm 36, 5 to 10, share your thoughts with us, and we will see you tomorrow when we talk about the intersection for the week. See you, everybody.